Gordon Kay here with Matt Hetherington. Men's singles. Going to be #1 seed Kenji Matsudaira against Wang Wei. Should be a great match, Matt. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the competitors?
Okay, so Kenji Matsudaira from Japan reached our peak world ranking in 2012, around 30 in the world. He's about 80 at the moment, and that's even with Wang Wei's highest rating, which was also around 80th in the world.
Wang Wei, is he a chopper, Matt?
He is, yeah. And he uses short pimples on his backhand, so that gives him a chance to kind of mix the spin up a little more and disguise when he plays no spin. But Wang Wei's a great competitor. He's been to the US on a number of occasions. Yola North American teams, Westchester Open, very solid results.
Up 2-1 here in the men's quarters. Matt, tell us a little bit about the modern chopper. You noticed Wang Wei trying to loop that forehand instead of a traditional chop.
Well, I mean, when he plays a match against someone who's going to play very offensively and very consistently, it's going to be difficult for him if he goes through the match trying to win just defending. So we're definitely going to see him trying to slot some forehands in, trying to be aggressive any opportunity he gets.
Matsudaira up 3-2 here in game 1. Really trying to attack, it looks like, right at the body, Matt.
I think we're going to see a lot of that. When you play defensively, you need quite a lot of space, especially when you're trying to play across the forehand side. So if he can stick him in the body more, it makes it difficult for him to defend and also difficult for him to attack as well.
Looks like that mid-serve gave him a little bit of trouble as he tried to loop off the forehand. Up 4-3 Matsudaira here in game 1. Long way to serve. Matt, what is Wang Wei's service strategy here? Is he going to try and go short and long? What's he going to try and what's his goal in terms of getting into the point?
Usually, I think he'll be serving more short. He'll want to keep the game tight at the start of the point, just to keep the first opening ball a little bit softer or a little bit less powerful. Matsudaira on the service game, I can see a little bit more half-long, mixing no spin and spin. Anything to try and get a loose ball off that first service receive.
So it looks to me, Matt, like Matsudaira is trying to attack on the wide corners.
Well, I mean, his goal really is going to be to get Wang Wei out of position defending. So if he can kind of slowly move him across from the middle onto the forehand side while he's playing backhand defense, that just opens up a lot of space on the table for him to attack. Nice ball.
Looked like he tried to go deep to the backhand with the topspin serve. He's trying to get Matsudaira to come back to his backhand. Is that what he's
I think any time Wang Wei serves long, he's always going to be looking for a chance to follow up with attack.
6-6 here in game 1. Again, the #1 seed, number 80 in the world, Kenji Matsudaira. Excuse me. Here in a tough match. Matt, is it hard to adjust in a place like Las Vegas because of the altitude, because of the air?
It can be difficult. It can be very difficult. A lot of the time you'll see the ball doesn't really come out as much. That can be hard for attacking players, especially against the defender, because the ball kind of sits up instead of coming towards you. It just makes it that little bit more difficult to get the timing right and to get the weight transfer playing. It's mainly a positioning thing.
Is it easier for a looper or a chopper to adjust to these conditions?
You could almost say the chopper has the advantage, just because playing defensively, the way the ball bounces can be a little bit irregular. I think it's all down to how the attacking player adjusts to the ball. So, I mean, a player like Matsudaira has a lot of international experience, league match experience, and I don't think he's going to find too much trouble noticing that the ball's not coming out, and he'll just drive forward through the ball more.
So that time a long, spinny forehand loop to the backhand as opposed to the wide attack to the forehand. Matsudaira up 9-6 here in the first. Again, the #1 seed in this tournament, ranked number 82 in the world. We have a great day of table tennis ahead for you here in Las Vegas at the 2016 U.S. Open. Just missed that off the top of the net. Up 9-7 here in game 1. Matsudaira to serve 9-7. Now, is that an altitude ball right there, or is that just a miss?
That is just the effect of a defensive player mixing the spin. And it's really difficult when you're playing someone, especially a short pips defender, to see when they make that change. The contact difference is very subtle. See there again, just a really, really thin contact. And then when you're getting into the rhythm of trying to spin the ball more and spin the ball more, and then the no spin ball comes, just sends the ball long a little bit.
Matt, I've seen here in Las Vegas and also not so much internationally, but both long pips and short pips defenders. What's the difference in terms of playing styles between the two?
Short pimples gives you, I feel, more opportunity to kind of vary your game. It's kind of a spin remover. It's as people have developed more with the plastic ball, you have seen some players move more towards short pimples because the difference in spin variation gives them quite an advantage, but also it's a little bit easier to come in and play offensively with the short pips or dead block. Long pips can be a little hard to control with those shots.
So game point here for Matsudaira. And Matsudaira takes game 1. Matt, I believe you have to step out if I'm not mistaken.
I do, but I will be back later on.
So those of you watching on the screen, you're stuck with me for the remainder of this match. Kenji Matsudaira takes game 1.
Thank you, Gordon.
Against Wang Wei from California. Matt, good luck. And we'll see you in a little while. So we're here at the 2016 U.S. Open in Las Vegas. This is the quarterfinals of the men's singles. Coming up next here on table 1 at 11:15 a.m., Yuki Hirano from Japan will be taking on Ying Chao Hu from California. Again, the #1 seed Kenji Matsudaira up 1-0 here, taking game 1, 11-9. We have a full day of table tennis here coming from Las Vegas. Again, at 11:15, we're going to have Yuki Hirano and Ying Chao Hu coming here in the men's quarterfinals. Followed right after that by Bob Chen out of California, ICC, playing against Kanak Ja, also from California. That match is at noon, followed by Kaito Fujimoto and Tayuka Jin in an all-Japan men's quarters matchup. Wang Wei here to serve. Down 1-0 as we are about to start game 2. Wang Wei with a short serve to the forehand, and again Matsudaira attacking deep to the forehand with the loop. My compatriot Matt Hetherington joining me again.
I'm back.
Matsudaira up 1-0 here in game 1. Wow. Great attack there from Wang Wei.
I came back at the right time.
Great attack from Wang Wei there. Again, using the chop short to the forehand, it looked like Matt to set up that forehand attack when Matsudaira came back deep to the forehand with the topspin loop.
I think we're going to see more of that as the match goes on. Wang Wei really looking for opportunities to attack.
That time Matsudaira to the body.
That's an effective tactic against choppers, getting them in the body. Usually when you play a player that has quite a wide range of strokes, so I mean defensive players will play quite far out from their body on both sides. it kind of leaves more exposure in the middle.
A great block there from Wang Wei, tying it up here in game 2 with Kenji Matsudaira up 1-0. 2-2 here in the second. It's the second time we've seen that. Matt, you had stepped out for the first point, but it was very similar. Short to the backhand, attack long to the forehand. It looked like Matsudaira got Wang Wei to pop up that short push.
I mean, that's another thing somewhat related to the altitude here. You can kind of see a ball and think it's going to come out a little bit longer, and then it comes short. And I feel like the tight game and the short game has been a lot more effective just for players who are trying. You can see Wang Wei's really trying to start being a little more aggressive. So if Kenji can play him short again and just take him by surprise.
Matt, it looks like to me that Wang Wei is not a traditional defender, traditional chopper. Looks like he likes to attack more.
He attacks quite a lot. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on him in this match to attack.
Is that because Kenji Matsudaira likes to attack so much and is so aggressive on the table?
Well, I mean, a lot of Japanese players are quite renowned for having slightly softer, more spin-based technique. And so, any international player at that level has a lot of exposure to different styles of play. And I mean, we saw yesterday in the previous round, one of the Japanese choppers, Miyuchi, playing the second seed, also from Japan, and the amount of comfort he had playing forehand attacking game against the defensive player was just incredible.
So we're 5-4 here in the second game with Matsudaira up 1-0 over Wang Wei, playing out of the United States right now. Matt, you mentioned earlier Wang Wei with a lot of international experience. Both of these players with a lot of international experience. You see the Japanese in particular seem to be sending players all around the world right now. There are 20 Japanese players here. O is a good representation at the U.S. Open from the Japanese, both on the men's and the women's side.
6, 5.
Matsudaira up 6-5 here in game 2.
So Wang Wei's actually got a little bit of mixed experience. I believe he was a Chinese national team player before going to represent Spain. So he's also got a lot of experience playing different European leagues.
Where is he playing now, Matt?
I believe he's based back in China. Don't quote me on that.
And Matsudaira, does he play in the Super League right now?
Matsudaira has been, I'm not sure if this season, but he's played in the German League previously, so European Champions League, German League. And they get a lot of exposure to a huge range of players, Chinese, European, other Japanese players. Well, it takes a stumble.
Great attack there, though, from Wang Wei. And I believe Matsudaira's brother also is an elite table tennis player. Recently either won or came close to winning the Pro Tour.
Yeah, Kenta Matsudaira is probably one of the leading Japanese players. He's had a whole string of really, really top results, medals at the Asian Games, Asian Championships. Had a very well-known win over Ma Long, the current Olympic champion, back in the 2012 Olympic qualifications.
Wang Wei taking a 8-6 lead here in game 2. Again, looking like he's using the chop to set up the attack as opposed to a traditional chopper.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably going to see him mixing up the depth of the ball as well as the spin. So here he plays short, a little half long, a little long.
It looked like, Matt, he almost goaded him into missing that ball.
I mean, that's something that defensive players will do. I mean, they want you to make mistakes.
Nice crowd here on court 1 for the first match of the day. men's quarterfinals.
I imagine it's only going to get bigger later on in the day, especially with Kanak Jar still in the quarterfinals.
That should be a great match.
It's great to see one of the US Olympians fighting it out in the draw.
And I believe he is playing.
He's playing Bob Chen from California.
Who knocked out another Olympian earlier, Tom
That's correct.
Feng Yijun. So we're 9-7 here in game 2, Matt. Matsudaira up 1-0. Wang Wei to serve. So Wang Wei, his game point here in game 2, has an opportunity to tie up this match at 1-1.
It's just amazing to see the amount of changes that go on through even 11 points in a game. You can just see the experience that these players have, knowing how to change their tactics.
So, Matt, as we look forward to game 3, we're all tied up here at 1-1. As we look forward to game 3, it looked like there was a slight adjustment in Wang Wei, particularly from a service standpoint. Long, short, long, short, long, short. What do you think here? What's the adjustment that Matsudaira needs to make here as we head into game 3?
I think for him, he's going to have to force a lot more footwork. You know, anytime you're playing a chopper, if you can mix in the long ball, the short ball, offensive shots, maybe shorter touch shots, half long balls, variation is going to be, I think, his biggest focus in the next set.
And from Wang Wei's standpoint, it looked like what was effective, as you said earlier, varying distance and a little bit of spin as he was moving Matsudaira around the table.
That's right.
Really? I got it right?
You got it right. I mean, that's one of the great things about watching offensive and defensive players compete with each other. And I think it's a favorite for a lot of table tennis spectators online and live. Watching somebody attack against a good defender, it's just such a game of tactfulness and strategy.
Here we go, heading into game 3, 1-1. Oh, right at the body. It was a great return on that forehand loop right into the body.
So you can see that's a good example of the difference. When somebody has short pips, they're able to kind of comfortably come in and take that shot, whereas with long pips, it can be a little bit more difficult. Nice.
What a great block there by Wang Wei. Just a great block to take a 2-0 lead here in game 1. Excuse me, in game 3. I wish it was game 1. I think this is a fun match to watch.
It's a great match. I think one of the fascinating things about watching defensive players play is you really never know when they're going to turn it around. You kind of watch them, they're playing defense, defense, defense. But they're always really wary of any chance they can get to turn it around and attack. And that kind of builds suspense when you're watching them as to, you know, when are we going to see the tables flip?
It has to be hard for a player playing into a diverse defensive player like Wang Wei, who, you know, could chop one point,
right,
he's going to attack the next. You've seen an attack with both his forehand and his backhand.
Exactly. I mean, when you play kind of more traditional choppers, you don't necessarily have to worry about the backhand too much. You'll see them playing mainly defensively. Wow.
Now, is Wang Wei going to twiddle, or is he just strictly...
You don't see him twiddle too often, no. Mainly because a lot of his focus is on trying to find that forehand attack. So he's going to want the smooth rubber on his forehand side as often as he can.
My partner, Matt Hetherington, I believe, has to step out again.
Seems like my match is actually on this time.
So, Matt, we wish you the best of luck. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Yeah, we will. See you.
Wang Wei up 3-2. Excuse me, Kenji Matsudaira down 3-2 here in game 3. It's 1-1 here in the men's quarterfinals of the U.S. Open, live from Las Vegas. Wang Wei with a push to the middle of the table. Matsudaira looping off the table. Wang Wei now takes a 4-2 lead here in game 3. Tied 1-1. It's the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open here from Las Vegas, Nevada. Look forward to having you with us all day for some great matches. Again, tomorrow night, 7:30 Pacific time, the final table celebration Wow, great point. Wang Wei getting Matsudaira to back all the way off the table. Backed him up to the back of the court and attacked, attacked, attacked. 5-2, leading here in game 3. Wow, what a great point. Fans here loving it. Wang Wei mixing up topspin, chop. What a great forehand to forehand rally right there between these two competitors. Matsudaira, again, the #1 seed here at the US Open. Down 6-2 in game 3, tied 1-1. And as Matt said, both of these competitors have a lot of international experience. I'm sure they've seen each other before. Internationally, this is the first time they'll be playing here at the US Open. A great wide forehand block from Wang Wei. Matsudaira tried pushing him way out to the forehand. Wang Wei was right there with a beautiful block. Ball just nipping the top of the net there. Wang Wei taking a 7-3 lead here in game 2. A lot of people looking forward to this match. Matchup of two great international competitors. Wang Wei again from China, playing out of the United States here at the US Open. Oh, beautiful backhand attack to the wide backhand from Matsudaira. Looked like the serve popped up a little bit, giving him an opportunity to attack. Wang Wei to serve here, up 7-4 in game 3. I don't know if you could hear it at home, but I did hear it over the headset. Wang Wei sounded a little bit frustrated missing that serve. Take a quick towel break and we're right back at it here. Matsudaira down 7-5 here in game 3. This is the quarterfinals. Semifinals coming up tonight. Matsudaira finally found that hold right to the body of Wang Wei. Attacked low to the forehand. Wang Wei has blocked a couple of those back earlier, but they were a little bit farther over towards the center of the table, allowing Wang Wei to get that back. That time Matsudaira finally found the hole right at the body. Now serving down 7-6. That ball just carrying inches long. Wang Wei again mixing up the chop, mixing up the topspin, mixing in different spins and depths, and that chop just went a little bit long. Tied here 7-7 in game 3. Let service. Oh, another great forehand to forehand rally. Really great. I mean, it's so much fun watching these two play. You know, Wang Wei just mixing up spins. One point he's chopping, the next point he's attacking with his forehand. A great forehand to forehand rally right there. Wang Wei taking an 8-7 lead here in game 3. Fun match to watch right now, being here live at the Las Vegas Convention Center at the 2016 US Open.
8-7.
Almost looked there like Wang Wei was trying to go short to the forehand to get to Matsudaira to pop that serve, pop up with the return again. You saw it earlier in game 1. where Wang Wei was effective with that serve short to the forehand. Matt and I talked about it earlier. It has to be so frustrating playing against a guy like Wang Wei, who's able to mix up so many different styles even within a point. There you saw a little bit of chop, a little bit of blocking. And Matsudaira eventually looping that forehand off the table. Down 7-9 here in game 3.
Net. 7-9.
Nice backhand block there from Wang Wei. Putting it right back at Matsudaira's forehand. Almost looked like he killed a lot of the spin off that ball. A reminder that Wang Wei is playing with short pips. His red side is playing with short pips, so obviously changing the speed and spin of that ball with those short pips, and almost looked like it threw Matsudaira off a little bit. Game point here in game 3. Wang Wei an opportunity to take a 2-1 lead here in the best of 7 men's quarterfinals. There you saw Wang Wei trying to attack that short forehand serve, just clipping the top of the net ever so slightly and carrying the ball off the table. Wang Wei now with 2 opportunities to close out here game 3 against the #1 seed in this tournament, Japan's Kenji Matsudaira. Number 82 in the world right now, has had a lot of success internationally, as has his brother.
Net. 10-8.
And Wang Wei takes a 2-1 lead here after an 11-8 win in game 3. I'm going to have to step off the mic for 1 minute. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, folks. We're back here live at the Las Vegas Convention Center. This is the men's quarterfinals of the 2016 U.S. Open. We have a great crowd starting to pour in here. Wang Wei taking game 3, 11-8. Now leads the #1 seed Kenji Matsudaira from Japan 2-1 as we head into game 4 of this best of 7 match. I had to step out for a moment to speak to our executive producer, who does a great job, David Del Vecchio. Had to give me a little bit of advice. This is Gordon Kay, coming to you live, working solo this morning. We have 4 great men's quarterfinal matches here on Court 1 for you. We also have live streams from Courts 2 and Courts 3. Encourage you to stay with us. This has been a terrific match so far. For those of you just joining us, Wang Wei playing out of the United States right now, from China originally. Just a great competitor in terms of mixing styles. And you saw right there, Wang Wei is traditionally considered a defender, but likes to mix in some forehand attack, likes to mix it up, change spins. He's playing with short pips on his backhand, his red side, and it has given Kenji Matsudaira a little bit of trouble here. He's been looping long off the table as he's been trying to. The slow, long loops have been falling off the table. There you saw Wang Wei sticking to the chop, using those short pips effectively. Matt talked earlier about the effects of the altitude and the air here in Las Vegas and how it may affect some of the ball coming off, particularly the plastic ball coming off those short pips. You saw it right there on that point.
1, 2.
Matsudaira clearly frustrated after missing that serve long. Tried to go long, topspin to the backhand, missed off the end of the table. Matsudaira serving here 1-2 in game 4. That time Wang Wei chopping long off the end. We're 2-2 here in game 4. If you're just joining us, this is the first of 4 men's quarterfinals matches we have here on court 1. It's the number 1 seed Kenji Matsudaira in a battle with Wang Wei. Oh, tremendous forehand to forehand rally. Tremendous forehand to forehand rally right there between these two competitors. I'll go back to this again, and I don't mean to sound repetitive, but from point to point with Wang Wei, you never really know what you're going to get. Are you going to get chop? Are you going to get forehand topspin? Matsudaira up 3-2 here, game 4. Matsudaira trying to backhand loop, found the net. Wang Wei with a short, it almost looked dead ball spin to the backhand. We're 3-3 here in game 4. Oh, great drop shot there by Wang Wei. Looked like we were going to get into another one of those great forehand to forehand rallies, and Wang Wei just again chain styles right in the middle of the point. Just dropped a little backhand right short. Matsudaira couldn't quite get there. I think he was almost expecting a forehand after he popped up that push. Wang Wei takes a 5-3 lead here in game 4 with a 2-1 lead in the best of 7 men's quarterfinals. Wow. Fans really loving that point here.
5-4.
Wang Wei trying to drop a short chop to the forehand. Matsudaira steps in, knocks home a winner back at Wang Wei's backhand. What a beautiful shot to close out that point. Wang Wei serving up 5-4. There again, you saw Wang Wei a little bit of topspin, a little bit of blocking, a little bit of chop, mixing it up. Very fun player to watch because you never know what any point is going to look like. Oh, caught an edge off the end of the table. Take a 7-4 lead here in game 4. A great crowd on hand here, by the way, for the men's quarterfinal match. We hope everybody turns out tomorrow night. For the final table celebration at the Foundry at SLS here in Las Vegas, about a block and a half away from the convention center. Women's singles starts at 7:30. Wow. Beautiful block from the wide forehand from Wang Wei. Matsudaira had a lot of success in game 1 attacking wide to the forehand. Wang Wei seems to have gotten him, Matsudaira, off his game a little bit because he hasn't been attacking to that wide forehand as much. This last point, Matsudaira goes back to the wide forehand, and Wang Wei is waiting for him with a beautiful block. That time Matsudaira moves him wide to the forehand and comes back to the backhand. Wang Wei serving up 8-5 here in game 4 with a 2-1 lead. Here at in the quarterfinals, best of 7. It's a 2016 U.S. Open. It almost looked on that point like Matsudaira thought that Wang Wei was going to attack that short high forehand. Wang Wei instead decides to push back. And then the next shot finds the net. Matsudaira serving down 6-8. Down 2 games to 1 here.
Nine.
Don't mean to sound like a broken record, but Wang Wei, so much fun to watch. Just so many different styles. So capable in so many different areas. It'd be very frustrating to play against a player like that because you don't know what you're going to get. Wow. That was a highlight reel shot right there. Right around the net. And guess what? We put it on the highlight reel.
10-7. 9-7.
Great thing about table tennis is sportsmanship. The fans appreciating that. And a Wang Wei. Wang Wei serving up 9-7.
10-7.
Almost caught Matsudaira in between strokes right there. And you've seen this now probably 5 or 6 times in this match now where Matsudaira gets caught in almost like a mid-serve return where he loops long off the table.
11-7.
And Wang Wei takes game 4, 11-7, to take a 3-1 lead here in the best of 7 men's quarterfinals. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment. We're back here live from the Las Vegas Convention Center. It is the men's quarterfinals. This is a first of 4 men's quarterfinals we're going to have here for you on court 1. The number 1 seed in a little bit of trouble here, down 3-1 to Wang Wei. Playing out of the United States, originally from China, former Chinese national team member. My compatriot on the mic is back.
This looks exciting.
Boy, did you, Matt, let me tell you, Wang Wei is such a fun player to watch. Because it's one of those, you never know what you're going to get on any given point. He's chopping some great forehand-to-forehand topspin rallies. This has been a tremendous match to watch. One thing, Matt, I'll tell you that's very interesting I've seen, Kenji Matsudaira having a little bit of trouble with that mid-forehand serve to the middle of the table. He consistently is looping that ball long. Now, Wang Wei backs off the table. Again, you don't know what you're going to get.
I think also, anytime you play against Chinese players who aren't regularly playing on the international circuit, you can get a complete surprise when you come out and play them.
I was talking earlier while you were gone that Matsudaira in game 1 had a lot of success going wide to the forehand and attacking wide to the forehand. Wang Wei seems to have gotten him away from that, been able to get Matsudaira away from that, waiting for him to go back to it. On that last point, he went right back to that wide forehand, and he seemed to have some success.
Right. One of the difficulties for him is trying to get him out away from the wide forehand first and then trying to expose the gap. Awesome.
beautiful
backhand.
backhand.
Great. I mean, you could see in that point, even like if he plays to the wide forehand and Wang Wei's there waiting for him, it's not going to be effective. So the difficulty is trying to get him so that he's not in position to be balanced when he gets to that wide forehand ball.
It almost looked, Matt, like he changed pace on that last forehand loop and caught Matsudaira early on that ball.
Right. He also played a good placement. It kind of caught him just a little bit closer into the body.
The other piece, Matt,
definitely doesn't look as settled on the offense as he was when I left.
that catch and edge.
That did. That's one thing you have to worry about when you're playing players with different rubber types, long pips, short pips. They do seem to catch a small, like a little bit of a higher incidence of nets and edges.
It's funny, Matt, because when you stepped out, one of the things that Wang Wei seems to do so effectively is not telegraph what he's going to do next.
Right, so he is a very unpredictable player.
Not even just stroke to stroke, but there was a high forehand ball that it almost looked like Matsudaira backed off the table.
And he dropped it short.
And he dropped it short. And there have been a number of points, Matt, through this match where it's almost like Matsudaira is expecting Wang Wei to do one thing, and he does the exact opposite. And I assume, Matt, that comes with a lot of experience, and not just training, but match experience.
And, I mean, also for him being a defensive player, when you're playing someone who's putting all the pace into the ball and you have to deal with very fast changes in direction, you've got to be really aware of what the other player's doing. So, I mean, if he sees Matsudaira back off even a slight bit before a point, he has more than enough time to just completely change what he's doing.
Boy, Matt, look at the crowd here. I mean, it's packed. Barely an empty seat here on court one. This is the first of 4 for us today.
The first of 4 men's quarterfinals. They're all going to be streamed on table 1 and then followed by the women's quarterfinals. So we have 8 really high quality matches in a row. And this is just the beginning.
Look, he attacked almost right at the left elbow instead of right at the, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but when I think of attacking at the body, I think of the right elbow. It looked like Wang Wei attacked at the left elbow. Wow.
That's fantastic.
We're going to hit the plus button on that one. Matsudaira caught that backhand so short off the bounce, it almost looked like it caught Wang Wei off guard.
But, I mean, you can see, if he really focuses on playing wide angles both sides, it's such a huge amount of ground to try and cover. He played that backhand early. Wang Wei was nowhere near.
There it is again. That mid-distance, not heavy chop, but that mid-distance chop really seems to be frustrating Matsudaira.
I think really when he's attacking the half-long ball, he just needs to do a tiny bit less. If he plays the first ball into Wang Wei's backhand, he's not going to get damaged by doing it.
There it is again. He's making him, pushing him wide, and it's almost catching him like he's expecting the ball to bounce out more, and it's not.
And it probably has less spin on it as well.
Because of the short pips.
Because of the short pips. And it's a distinct possibility that maybe a player like Matsudaira, I know the Chinese national team have a lot of exposure to short pimples defense now. It's a possibility that perhaps Japanese players are not as comfortable with short pips defense. I mean, a lot of defenders in Japan are still long pip defenders, so it can present its difficulties.
So again, Matsudaira, #1 seed.
#1 seed.
On the ropes here. I think it's fair to say down 3-1, 8-4 in Game 5. That would define on the ropes. Maybe 10-something would be a little bit more on the ropes, so maybe that's on the edge.
That could be on the edge. We'll have to see how the next couple of points go.
I would say that this is a crucial point right here. This point in particular.
Both of the next 2 points, when he has the serve, He's got to try and capitalize off his serve.
It doesn't seem like either of them, I would say, I shouldn't say that, Wang Wei seems to be gaining an advantage off his serve from placement. I don't feel like Matsudaira is really gaining that huge of an advantage off his serve. It's certainly not as much as Wang Wei.
I mean, a lot of the time, Wang Wei's going to play quite passively on serve receive. So, I mean, defensive players don't flip as much. They try and keep the ball short or push out long.
Interesting. Wang Wei taking a timeout here. This, if I'm not mistaken, is typical of Chinese players. They're going to take a timeout when they're in the lead, not when they're down. Typically, we think about maybe in the United States and other places that the timeout is used at a sort of crisis point, for lack of a better term. Usually, when I'm down 10-0, I take a timeout. Chinese seem to approach that a little bit differently.
Well, I mean, they're good at recognizing different points of the game. Not necessarily just when you need to change your tactics, but also what your mental state is, what the mental state of the other player is. I mean, I would guess right now that Kenji Matsudaira's got a lot of pressure on him, so taking a timeout not only gives Wang Wei a chance to kind of settle in, and for a defensive player, staying relaxed is very important, but also it kind of just lets that pressure just sit on Kenji Matsudaira while he's at the bench.
Okay, we're now at the cliff. Match point here. The #1 seed in trouble.
I think
down 10-5 here.
On Wang Wei's serve, it's going to be really difficult for him to try and capture this point. I would say a half long to the middle, possibly.
It's interesting, Matt, looking back a few points, you had said that the 8-6, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was 8-6.
The serve.
The serve when Matsudaira
It might have been 8-4.
8-4.
8-4.
Right, and Matsudaira won the first point, and then Wang Wei sort of goaded him into a backhand into the net, or off the end. 7-10. I would say, if I could, this is a crucial point for Matsudaira.
Wow.
Nothing like the obvious.
We're in Vegas, but I don't really want to take the opposite side of that bet.
Nothing like the obvious. Again, if you're just joining us, Wang Wei, match point here against the #1 seed, Kenji Matsudaira out of Japan. And there it is, Matt. #1 seed goes down. What a great match. What an exciting. It was fun to watch this match.
I'm almost disappointed that I missed the whole middle of the match. I will definitely be hopping on YouTube afterwards or on the USATT website to go back and make sure I watch through that again.
I have to just point one thing out. What a great sign of respect right there from Kenji Matsudaira, bowing to the crowd, giving him a quick applause. I mean, that's class.